Sorry, y'all. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing okay. Please thumbs up the live. It'll be greatly appreciated if y'all do. So, what we gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about some real world stuff. Then we're gonna talk about some news that you absolutely cannot use. We're gonna talk about Lemon. He's got a health condition that a lot of y'all not really talking about. Y'all talking about that man tooth. Y'all talk about his wobbly eye. But I saw something even more concerning. And I'm like, y'all just gonna sit up there and ignore that shit? Like y'all examine everything else. And I'm like, hello, y'all need to be over there at the playhouse, the dollhouse, the medical house, the Red Cross house, and let him know he need to take his ass to the ER pronto. So we're gonna get into that a little bit later. We're gonna talk about Sour Patch and Rick Reed. We're talking about Wilson, Jay Wilson, child. And then Lil Nas X in football, okay? So let's talk about some real world news because you're like, I start y'all off with the real world news and then we're gonna get into the news that you absolutely cannot use. In case y'all didn't know, football season is back. It's good because the TV was a little bit boring. So collegiate football starting up. The pros are right now in their preseason. What's up, Keena? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Um, so we're in the preseason right now for NFL, and the collegiate season is starting up. So so it's good to see that. It's always exciting and stuff like that. I think, especially in these times, we definitely need a distraction for what's going on because as I was coming on, I was just thinking how Rump continues to get his way. And I was like, why does he keep getting his way? Because he rules by intimidation. Like the former, what was it? It was the former something. I forgot what it was. I think it was the former something. I don't know, attorney general or something like that. He went and ended his detail. Like I guess he was out of office. He's out of office now, but he went and ended his like protective detail at 12 a.m. L1 in the morning and had his house searched. So they're doing some stuff like that to intimidate people. It's like don't stand up against us, or if you did stand up against us, we're going to get you. So what's up, Attach Myself? How you doing? Good to see you. What's up, Philly T? How you doing? Good to see you. What's up, Bertha Mae Jackson? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yes, you did something the other day. Yeah, you ended your live to get one of your sound bites, and I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, they don't call my kid no sound bite." But I applaud that you put your family first, whether some other people that didn't or wouldn't. What's up, Nessa A? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. What's up, Ron P? I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you. For those that sit in y'all platinum chat, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, those on the platinum chat, I'm gonna have to talk to y'all about something because yeah, it don't need to be discussed on Front Street, but I'm letting y'all know. Stay tuned. I may have to pin a message. It may rub some people the wrong way, but a lot of y'all that's in here now, it don't apply. But I've got to, as y'all know, I run a business. So that's all I'm gonna say. That I'm gonna just leave it in the background. But I know some people don't come back there, so they get the message in the forefront. But yeah, so there's something I need to discuss with y'all because, like I said, I run a business. That's not to mean can be cold and callous, but if you don't run your business the right way, you're gonna soon be out of business. So I need to discuss something with y'all. So I'm saying that in the public, so y'all be on alert for my message in the back. Okay. But for those who are here, I appreciate y'all support. But y'all gonna understand where I'm coming from. So those who are here, it don't apply to y'all. But y'all gonna understand when I put that message down in the back. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I understand. And let me just say this. Okay, so let me just say this right now, because sometimes when you put stuff in words, it don't resonate as well if it's when in a voice. All right, and I just want to say it like this: I've been very understanding, very patient, And I let something go on. I let this matter that I'm gonna put in the back go on for a long time. So for me to make this executive decision, please I ask before y'all criticize before doing it. Please put yourself in my position and how long I may have had to endure what I've had to endure. And at the end of the day, like I say, I run a business. Y'all may not think it's a business, but it is a business to some degree. And I just ask that those who I put that message down for, please put yourself in my position for y'all judge me because what I've let go on has gone on for a long time. And I've just decided to like, okay, I just gotta say something about it. Because sometimes I don't know if it's kindness, I don't know if it's I don't know if people think it's kindness or they just think I don't know. I'm not gonna say nothing, but like I say, if it don't apply, let it fly. But those who apply, so they know. All right, so that's what I'll say. So that's why I want to vocalize it because it comes across a little bit different more than when you vocalize it because people read things in their mental terms or mental tone. And I just need to say that. And once again, I want to say this again so that when I put it in the back, y'all understand where I'm coming from and think how long I maybe had to endure what I had to endure. That's all I'm saying. All right, all right. What's up, Jaguar? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Michelle's daughter. What's going on? Tell Michelle I said hello. Keena says at the end of the day is going to end. If it's making dollars, it don't make sense. No, especially not in my situation. No, I wouldn't. Well, it's difficult. It's difficult, but I just see certain things that I'm like, no, I can't because I can't. But that detail is for those in the back. All right, move on along. So that's business that had to be handled. The other thing I want to talk about is what I was saying about Rump. So as probably Keenan knows that Powell, they had a whole thing in Jackson Hole and all that stuff, and they said they're going to pretty much cut interest rates in September. And I was like, wow. So this may go cut interest rates in September, knowing that it may spark up inflation, but it may come at a time to save unemployment from increasing and stuff like that. Either way, it's going to increase inflation. And I feel like, people are seeing even if you go against Rump, he may come back at you with retribution. So he might as well do what he wants to do. And a lot, honestly, his tariffs are. I mean, I was just before I came on, I was reading an article. His tariffs are raising prices astronomically high, and we don't even know to this day how high things will become. Right? We don't. We really don't know how high things will get. And are the wages going to keep up? Are the wages going to keep up? So it's a lot out there to be considered, but September 15th, well, September 5th is a key day because the job report comes out. I feel the job report is going to be negative, intentionally negative, to encourage even more why the interest rate should be cut. September 15th, they're going to cut the interest rate. And that's when they're like, oh my God, the stock market is going to go up significantly. So prepare yourself to do that. Look at that. Maybe you can make some money, get in and get out. But I'm sorry to tell you, I do feel with things headed the way they are, retailers are not going to be able to suffer, are not going to be able to manage that inflation. Inflation to goods and things they need to produce is going to go up. It's going to cut into their profits, and then what's going to happen? You're going to see potentially a tank in the stock market. I don't know. After September 15th, there's a lot to be seen. I think there's going to be a down, there's going to be an up caused by the 15th, and then we're going to go back down again because we still don't know the cost of this inflation, right? So that's what I got to say about that. We talked about football. Lil Nas X, thank you, Ron. People try to keep me informed of that situation. They say he's got an album coming out, and this is why he was walking down the street in his tidy whities, and then eventually he got nude. Who knows? It may be a situation with mental illness too. I don't know. I just, little Nas X, and which I did a piece on before about, something dealing with he did that seemed very demonic and satanic, however you say it, with the Nike. The Nike had to come out and say, no, we had nothing to do with that. There was an aftermarket thing that they did, where they redesigned the shoes or whatever they call them. Like they, you know how the people get shoes and then they there's an aftermarket for when you redesign them. So he's Lil Nas X walking down the street in his briefs and all that. And let me tell you something about. I'm just saying. To me, when he's walking down the street in those briefs and the boots, I thought that was intentional. Because let me tell you something. If he didn't mean to do that, his underwear would have been as clean. I'm sorry, but y'all know, like, come on, them tiny whites were crisp, right out the box, right out the package. You're like, okay, you. Wait a minute, then come on now. He color coordinated white boots and white tidy whities. Come on, come on. Us as men, we usually wear black in this day and age. Like we were usually wearing black, blue, some other dark color, not no white. We should, and you come on now. All right, so here I'm like, okay, but then he got in an altercation with the police. And he could have said maybe, he could have I don't know, people make calculated decisions. They say, well, if I get on the calculation, well, if I get an incident with the police, then that makes me, they'll be on the police scanner and da, 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 da. So who knows? I hope it's not for the promotion of of his album, but they always said he knows how to troll. He knows how to get people to pay attention to him. I guess this is one of them, but it's kind of dangerous, right? Philly T says it was the white marching boots for me. Exactly. He knew what he was doing. I guess, and if he didn't, then hopefully he gets the help that he needs. Maybe he just had a psychotic break and said enough was enough. Okay. Coco Golf. If y'all know who Coco Golf is, she's one of the top black or African American, whatever, or I don't know. Sometimes they don't even want to call themselves African American, but she's one of the top black African American. When not, not she's one of the top women tennis earners. So congratulations to her. Not being defined by her ethnicity. And that, what else did I see in the news? That's about it. That's all y'all pretty much care about, right? Anything else? Anything else? No. I did see something that Atlanta had 20,000 cases of HIV in a month. Maybe was it in a month? I don't know. Y'all, please wrap it up out there. I mean, the risk is coming everywhere for women and for men. People not being loyal. People in social media. People hooking up with people, taking risk, and stuff like that with and not getting tested, right? Y'all want to hump and dump, and then got the nerve to be ashamed of what y'all want to do. It's crazy out here. You know what I mean? Even if it's not HIV, it's other diseases out here. It's crazy. It just really is. It's social media. I don't see social media. I mean, this digital age of apps have allowed things to become so accessible and people to not even be. You can sit up there, honey. I'm going to go get some milk from the grocery store. I'll be back in an hour or 30 minutes, and they done set up for a rendezvous to happen. Anyway, it's so much temptation. That's what I want to say. All right, what's the other thing I want to say that was important? Okay, so Catherine Powell's over there talking to Brian about weight loss. I have no problem with that conversation. But Brian is a big guy, meaning in stature. And I don't like when obviously our culture is very aesthetically biased and based. And I don't like, and this is nothing, I'm not knocking Catherine Powell because she was having a very good discussion, but she's trying to get down to this weight that obviously she's not at. And I'm not knocking her for that. But I felt that she was trying to pressure Brian into that same mindset. And I have to understand, if you're a man that's 6'3", large in stature, you're not going to be a twig. And what I've learned is some of the most unhealthiest people are those who are the skinniest. And I feel that when we look at, weight loss, everybody's going to be skinny. It's a facade. Look at, what's her name? Serena. I feel like Serena was naturally where she was supposed to be. Yes, She could have slimmed down. She did slim down significantly, and has used Moderna, Wegovy, all those drugs to get there. And I feel like Serena is put herself because she married a Caucasian man who was the co-founder of Reddit or something like that. So she's put into a demographic in her socialization with people who are not of her body type or her size. Right? I don't think Serena was obese. So circling back to the conversation that Catherine was having with Brian, I just feel like some people are naturally, let's say big, but have a larger stature. And to get them down to say, oh, you need to be that of a twig, that might not be biologically correct to where they are. That's like telling the Samoan people, y'all need to stop being big and shrink down. No, that's not who they are from a cultural perspective or a biological standpoint. So I think in Catherine's position, maybe she was a skinny girl, then ballooned and then shrunk, and now trying to maintain. But to put that on a man that's big like that, that's not right. Like that's not. I mean, I'm sure Brian got big feet, big shoulders. His stature is to be big. And like I say, a lot of you know that some people that are the skinniest I've seen are the sickest, right? And when they do need some meat on their bones to stave off their their demise, they don't have it there. They don't. Now I agree. We need to lose some weight and all that, but and the thing that scares me is y'all putting yourselves now. And I know I have some audience members, so I'm not talking down to y'all. Just please understand my standpoint. I don't like how we're encouraging people to go and get on these drugs that we don't understand the long term effects of. Now, I understand that some of that stuff has caused people to go blind and other stuff, and has given them what they call it gut. I don't think they call it gut paralysis, but it's something else they call it intestinal paralysis and stuff like that, where they can't digest food. Some of them have an explosive diarrhea. It's it's just many of the side effects, and I was like, okay, okay. So I understand people want to do this, and everybody do your own thing. But what I know about medical studies that they're doing is just like, where's the long term results and consequences of this? That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the stuff like that's being used for weight loss. So let me see what y'all say in the chat. Um, it reminded me of Wiley had his child, yeah. Well, it wasn't in a crowded Walmart. Ron P says Serena Williams, she's probably getting a different type of pressure now. She is because she's in a different type of circle. Those people in that circle, where you talking about billionaires and millionaires, those women are toothpick thin. And if you're not toothpick thin, then they're looking at you like, uh, ugh, what are you doing around us? Get from us. Oh, you're too big. Ugh. So she probably getting that kind of pushback. Keenan says if a person is not diabetic, there is absolutely no reason to be on semi glutude. Did I say right? Glutude? Glutudes. Serena should know better as one of the greatest athletes, but she is brainwashed by that white husband. Child. Hey, let me tell you something, Keenan. In them circles, things happen. Things, even from going to the balls, to the galas, to the conferences, to the meeting rooms, you know, I'm sure they're making remarks. So, oh, no problem. I didn't know. I'm not. Is it semi-glutides? I don't know. I don't know. So Serena will never be accepted in a no, she will never not because she will always be looked at as yeah, okay, she was a great athlete. Yeah, she probably made tons of money, but not his money. So you know it is what it is. And I think Venus falls in the foot of her sister and her another dude that's in Silicon or come from Silicon Valley. So we'll see. I would love to see. I know. I understand. I understand why Sierra said that. She couldn't really date the rappers or in the black community, because they played on her. And they disrespected her. So I could understand that, but I would love to hear her experience on the other side. Does she miss her culture? Does she miss, you know, being treated a certain way? I don't know. It would be interesting because I'm sure she's got to deal with a lot of stuff. But who knows? You know. Mm-mm. All right, what's the other thing I want to talk about? So we talked about that. You know, it was a good conversation. Brian is having, he got busted out snoring on Jay Wilson's live. And at first, when I heard it in the replay, I thought he was playing around, but apparently that's not. He has a case of apparent sleep apnea. So, sometimes God will take care of you and let you know when you are not aware. So I'm trying to. I'm like, Brian, did Mississippi tell you? But I guess apparently not. So yeah, but that's a real life situation. But everybody's weight loss journey is their own. It requires discipline. It requires education, and it just you just gotta be careful. I mean, all these stuff that they marketing this day, everybody has different side effects, so we have to be careful of that. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say regarding that, regarding the real world news. Yeah, that's about it. All right. So let's get into the news that you absolutely cannot use. We're gonna take a brief commercial break. Please, if you want to, please feel free to send a gesture to $13 crown. For those in the platinum chat dues are due. All right, I have rarely said that in recent months. So for those who take care of it, I appreciate y'all. I don't put no pressure on nobody. But it's a gentle reminder. Okay. And we'll be right back, y'all. We'll be right back. Good time. What's okay, Lord, let's play this one. Mm, mm, mm. Bless Walking still at it. I saw her over at some Indiana chat. I said the nerve for her to be creeping around here in these YouTube streets. All right, so let's get to it. The first thing I want to talk about is that Lemon really has a health issue. It ain't the tooth, it ain't the cock eye, but he needs to really, of all people, get his drinking in order. So there was now I had to get this from the Shady Lives of YouTube, so go subscribe to the Shady Lives of YouTube on Instagram. So I saw this clip, and I guess apparently he had showed. I guess while he was trying to show a bottle, he showed his knee, but it also panned to his foot. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I saw the discoloration of his foot. Now, as we know, as you begin to lose circulation, black people, as you begin to lose circulation in your feet, they begin to turn dark, right? So let me show y'all. Thank you, Ron P. I appreciate you promoting their channel. Let me show y'all this. Hold on, where is that? Here we go. Look at this. Look at y'all. His big toe. Now, everybody thought I was being facetious when I said this earlier. I said it. Now, YTC, why you keep ignoring my comments? You really weird. Like, I don't mean to call you out, but you weird. Like, it's really weird. And your alliances really mess up your legitimacy. And I have not come at you like this, but I'm tired of that. Like, you'll say hi, and I notice that. And I'm not going, oh, Lord. YTC, you got to stop that. And I understand you trying to be the what they call it, the neo-NATO, the NATO, whatever, the NATO world order. But you need to stop that because you be intentionally trying to favor yourself for other content creators. And it's just like, oh wow, okay. Like, ooh, anyway, move right along. So this is Lemon's foot, right? Okay, so obviously now this is kind of weird that we looking at this man's foot, right? This is kind of like what the fuck, but it is a what the fuck moment. Now, if you look at it, his toe is discolored, and to me, that is when that happens when you got diabetes, and people start losing toes and stuff to because it's lost circulation, they start amputation. So, Lemon, you need to really get that straight. And like I was saying it in Deanna's. I mean, what's it? No, I was saying it in Kimmy's live, and I said it in YTC live, and they thought I was just playing around. They thought I was joking, and I'm like, no, I don't lie. Like people think for some reason I lie on shit. Like I'm gonna let you gonna know when I'm joking. Like this is for real. So this man, he needs to go get this shit checked out. He needs to take better health. His feet are swollen. At a man of his age, we should be seeing some veins. That shows that at least he is active and have good circulation. His foot don't show that. You don't see no vein at sight. You see puffiness, and then also we see the discolored big toe. So Lemon, you need to really watch all that drinking of that alcohol, the consumption, and it's kind of crazy because it seems like the discoloration is spreading to the other toe. So while y'all running over there and doing all that crazy shit y'all doing, Lemon, I don't want to speak nothing into existence, but Lemon, you gotta take care of that, bro. You gotta get on some medication. You gotta watch what you're doing, eating. You gotta watch what you're drinking, because that's not a good look. You know, look at the colors of your other four toes or three toes compared to your first two. I'm just saying, let me get that shit straight. Because you only get one body. You only get one body, so make sure you take care of it. So that's what I gotta say to that. Like he probably he see his foot every damn day. So anyway, the other thing we're talking about is that whole Sour Patch and Rick Reed situation. Now, so apparently Sour Patch, you said Nessa. Wow, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it's serious. So he needs to get that straight. Hopefully somebody will pass him the word. Like, don't play with that. Just because you could walk on it now, you're gonna soon lose sensation. So I just wanna know. All that alcohol. That's what I was, a lot of times we get on him about that. Well, I would get on him about his eating habit. He said, "Oh, I'm going for Chipotle and I'm getting for Taco Bell and KFC." A lot of that stuff that people eat outside is high in sodium. So you won't have two issues: high blood pressure, um, and diabetes. But whatever. All you can do is tell and hope they listen. All right. So going back to the Sal Pitch and Rick Reed situation. If you listen to Rick Reed live that he did, I guess in the middle of the night or whatever, Sal Patch is a good friend of Rick Reed, and he was chewing her out and all that stuff, and saying that, "Oh, why you messing around in the YouTube streets? You should have stayed behind on the YouTube streets like you always have been before." All that other stuff, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, obviously Sal Patch has been around for a long ass time. Rick Reed. Obviously, she knew and knows what comes with this. I think, Rick Reed, what you fail to understand, despite how many conversations you had with her in the background, is that maybe she wanted attention. Now, obviously, the situation is spinning off with Big Man TV and some allegations that they shared some intimate pictures, but I think the situation is bigger than Big Man TV. I think it's more in the sense that Sour Patch finally wants to get her spot in the spotlight and get some attention, and to see how I felt to get some of that fame and acclaim that maybe you were experiencing, Rick Reed, right? She is closest. She is very close, I guess, based on y'all conversation. Y'all seem very close to some of the content creators around here. So maybe she said, "Let me put my toe in the YouTube land pond," and that's what she did. So while you sitting up there chewing her out and all that stuff, and she was being respectful to you, but I felt at the time, like I felt like one thing I did not hear in your conversation is that what she wanted and what she wanted was attention. Like I said, she wanted her name in the bright lights, and I think she likes the attention. So now, why she was messing with Big Man TV, who the hell knows? I don't know. I don't know. That's you know. I mean, listen to what she was saying to Rick Reed. She said that she felt that he was a nice guy and all this other stuff. But apparently, Big Man TV is in a protected class, so people have to be very careful on how they get revenge on him. So I was just like, y'all, like, whew, Lord have mercy. It's interesting. So that's that scenario over there. And Rick Reed, I guess, is highly mad because he was very protective over Sour Patch, and he feels that her going out and being in these YouTube streets is a betrayal of what they talked about, maybe even a betrayal of their friendships and stuff like that. So, whew, I don't know. So I mean, there's not much Rick Reed can do. I guess because remember, Sour Patch was out there screaming for Rick Reed in the beginning, but I think Sour Patch, you put yourself in the situation. And apparently you've been around here for years, so you know what these streets give. So all I say is good luck to you. Good luck to you. And I guess Rick Reed is mad also to her because she was sharing intimate details about her family with I guess Big Man TV and stuff got out. I don't know. So, mm. I don't know. That's just what's on the YouTube streets. All right, and then I think lastly what we're gonna talk about is Jay Wilson. I told y'all, Jay Wilson is understanding that he's at an point in his life where ageism, excuse me, is occurring against him. And that ugly ass, gray ass, mastiff of a goatee that he had, he thinks or thought maybe was putting him at a disadvantage in job interviews. So he shaved it off to make himself appear younger. Hey, you do what you got to do because the job market is biased against older people. So you do what you got to do to make yourself look younger. But now he gonna sit up here and he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X." Listen at the key terms that he keeps repeating. Why in the hell is he recently complaining about or mentioning that he's Gen X and crying about the millennials and Gen Z and all that? Why? Because they are his competition. They are displacing him in the workforce. There would be no other reason for him to feel some animosity and keep promoting his Gen X, right? There wouldn't. They would not think about it. He don't deal with those kind of people, but in a job competition, yes, he is dealing with them, and he probably is resentful that he's finding those people and those millennials and Gen Z are getting the jobs that he now is competing with them against. Also, now he putting like a baseball cap out as if he a hip trying to be hip hop or hip 20-year-old. It's insane. Like just look at that. And it's just like, yo, this man is having a problem with accepting the age that he is, and then accepting that he's got to compete with these youngins in the job market. That's all that is. It should him. He should be kicking up his heels with a Mac Daddy hat on and a cigar in his hand, accepting his age and embracing. But now all of a sudden he's shaving off his mustache, whatever his beard, and now changing his attire to look younger. The telltale signs of Jay Wilson. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Regarding Diamond Dory and Simon, don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's just a play. It's a play all day, every day. She can't. She talking about she over in the UK, and then all of a sudden since she made it back home. Oh my God! It's just crazy. It's just crazy, crazy. People intentionally lying and stuff like that. Um, well, Philly T, you said maybe it's a midlife crisis. I don't know. I don't. I could. You could be right and I could be wrong, but I don't think it's a midlife crisis because yeah, it's a bit okay. Yeah, it's a midlife crisis. You at the middle of your life and you competing with youngsters for a job. Yeah, and that's a crisis for him because he's like, oh shit, I gotta look younger. I gotta put this baseball cap on to make me look like I'm 20, like I'm with it. And he keeps screaming, I'm Gen Z, baby. I'm Gen Z, baby. We tough. We tough around here. And I'm like, what has caused this like moment of defiance and or arrogance or braggadocious about his generation? Like y'all gotta be with me on that. Where did that come from? Like, come on, bro. He ain't never promoted what generation he is and used that to knock down the generations after him. That is to tell me that that's he's feeling inferior because those generations are getting more of an opportunity than he is. It makes no sense. It doesn't go along with his show. It doesn't go along with his commentary. It doesn't go along with his storyline at all. So they're competing with you to be a chaplain, a pastor. Get out of here. They're not. You're just doing that because you're like, oh shit, I am old. Oh my God, I do like an old nerd. Oh my God, how could I prevent that? And somebody was like, cut the gray, Jay, cut the gray, Jay. And that's what he did. And who the hell does a reveal driving onto the ramp of the highway? I was like, what? Oh, wait a minute. I gotta make sure my boo sees it first. So so your relationship is so paranoid that you gotta make sure your boo see it first before you showcase it on YouTube. Wow. Wow. That told a lot right there. That told a lot right there. Oh, he forgot about his boo. I guess because his boo looking at you on YouTube. You're like, who that? Who that? Cut the gray, Jay. So yeah, so he might be in a midlife crisis. You might see that he's, I don't know. I don't know. Mm-mm. I mean, he's not. You know what's weird though? As much as he talk about being a professor and teaching people stuff, his ass is slow to learn technology. How long that we had to have him tell him to change that 2024 banner? He don't know how to use none of the pretty much. All he knows is how to put up a banner, and that's about it. And I'm like, are you mad that like Gen Z and the millennials and Gen whatever after that is outplacing you? You don't embrace technology. Those generations embrace technology. They embrace AI. You don't even embrace that. You don't embrace that stuff. And you have a nerve to be resentful to the. I don't know. It's weird. It is really weird. Really weird. And then, child, I don't know. Anyway. All right, that's my commentary. Like that's all I really got to say. It ain't. That's about it, child. Mm, it's weird. Feel free to hit the link and tell us what you want to think if you so choose to. Feel free to send a gesture, $sign, Sir King Crown. I'll be tremendously appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have nothing much to say. Oh, Kimmy live, child. Oh, Kimmy, 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 McKimmy, 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 Kimmy, 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 girl. I need to know: is that intentional? Is that intentional? Is that Kimmy, Kimmy, McKimmy? Is that intentional, girl? Kimmy, is that intentional? And I am repeating myself. Because, girl, now you set up here threatening people. Anybody using my image, I will flag them. When you sit in the Joe broadcast like that today, Kimmy, I had to pull back and say, girl, somebody hit you up on the back end and shows you what these people were posting of you, girl. Now, I said your hairline start at the 50-yard line, like at a football field. But I had to sit up and say, girl, is that intentional? Is that part of the show? Is that your character? Then they got a picture of you going from the middle to all the way to the right, girl. And I was like, oh hell no. Oh hell no, Kimmy. Kimmy, what is going on over there, Kimmy? Kimmy, is that intentional? Kimmy, what is going on? And now you gotta understand, I nurtured Kimmy. I nurtured Kimmy. Y'all be like, what the hell? Oh hell no! I nurtured Kimmy. See, Kimmy was like a lemon before a lemon. Okay? Now Kimmy over there looking like a cantaloupe with a wig on. But that's here, no there. Now see, I nurtured Kimmy. Kimmy was sitting under the bosom of Brianna. And they were, I guess you call them tag team. I don't know. But yeah, so Brianna and Kimmy would come live. And I was often told, I was like, Kimmy, like, why do you have any aspirations or inspiration to move on and do your own show? No, 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 I don't wanna, no, no, no. But I was the first person to instill confidence in her. And she knows that. Will she acknowledge that? I don't know. I don't know. But she knows that I was the first one to really say that, she really, put confidence in her that she could do the solo thing. Now, like I said, was she acknowledge it? Probably not. But girl, this whole game is about aesthetics. And just like I got on Brianna about her hair, I really wish Brianna could, give you some of her hair and plop it on top of your head. Because girl, what is going on over there? We just want to know, is that part of the show? What is going on over there? We just want to know. I don't, because you you come on here with your hair like that, and you asking us not to say nothing. You threatening people not to post nothing. But girl, you know what your hair giving. Like you don't even like what's. And then they got side pictures of you, girl. And I thought it was a frontal issue, but it seems to be a side issue too. Kimmy, what's now? If you need a way that this community will come together and send you something, you know, Kimmy, Kimmy, please, like Kimmy, like yes, Kimmy, you comedic, but you making fun of Lemon's eye. I don't know what that was, plastic papers on your face to imitate him. But damn, the way you looking, you do the do rag. Really, Lemon, really, Kimmy, you should be coming on with a do rag for real, for real. That's where you got to give Lemon credit. Lemon know he over there looking like a motherfucker George Jefferson. He know he look like George Jefferson, and he probably got 20 packs of Timu do rags because he know damn well he need to protect us from seeing him look like George Jefferson. Okay, girl, Kimmy, I think you should follow Lemon's lead and put on a do rag too. I really do. I do for do rag. I really do, and the do and really is for do rag, Kimmy. I really do. Cause girl, you coming on looking like that. You got a good show. You comedic. But damn, we're looking at that forehead. No, we ain't looking at the forehead. We're looking at the middle of your head. And then you had the nerve to turn right. And we're like, damn. Like, Kimmy, we sitting up there hoping that, like, what we see in the front is not a continuation of what's going on. And sure enough, it was. And I'm like, oh hell no, girl. We was just thinking, okay, maybe it's an illusion, just like your ass was sitting using them filters. Or like maybe it's a filter, maybe it's a filter AI filter she got. No, it's reality. And girl, I was just like, I'll put five to hear me. If there, I don't know much about wigs because I ain't in that field, whatever. I don't need that, girl. If there is some kind of wig or something that you need to get, I'll donate $5. I'll donate $5, Kimmy, because you can't keep coming on looking like a motherfucking eggplant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just can't. You looking right now, your hair like an albino eggplant. For real, or whatever you want to call it, a light skinned eggplant that lost its purple pigmentation. Kimmy, please, please, for the completion of your show, come on now, do something with that hair, girl. Cause Kimmy, the way things are going, it's gonna start. Your hairline gonna be right behind your neck. Your hairline, let me say it, the way things going, girl, gonna be right behind your neck. And I know you're not gonna let us see that full melon without no strands of hair, Kimmy. Please, Kimmy, let's not do a lemon. Let's be proactive rather than reactive, Kimmy. Please. Like I said, you got a banging show. You funny, but don't let the joker that help you on you, Kimmy. Please, 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 please. Cause I was just, cause I'm playing back your show in my head, and I was just like, woo, child. And then you end it with, please don't if you're using any of my images on your page, I will be flagging unless you have my permission to do so. I'm like, girl, you tell me you like Jay Wilson. But I'm Gen Z, baby. I'm Gen X, whatever it was. I'm Gen X, baby. Kimmy, Kimmy, please, please, don't. I don't know. I mean, go back to the baseball cap. Go back to the baseball cap as if you were going to take me out to the ball game. As if you was going to get ready to go see a home run by your local baseball team. Okay? Please. You look better than that. You look better. Like you look like Ride or Die. You like Queen Latifah that day with that hat on. I said, go ahead, Kevin. Okay, but today you looking like a Predator extra. And when I say Predator, I mean the movie Predator. Okay, except that your face looking way better. It was just like the Predator. He got them dreads. That's what kind of Kimmy you were looking like a little bit today. Okay, so I gotta be honest. We gotta be honest because you know what, Kimmy, your girlfriends ain't being honest with you. So it gotta take a man to take girl. Mm-mm. And these women on here, they'll cheer you on to your demise. They'll cheer you on to your demise. Sure. Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, let me see. What's up, Room Shaker? How you doing? What's up, Auntie Donna, baby? How you doing? Good to see you. Darlene Gibson says, "Oh my, we got to be honest, y'all. We got to be honest." You said, "Looks a mess." We got to be honest, because I'm sure a lot of people in her camp tell her she did the damn thing when she did, but that hair didn't. So that's what I got to say about that. I'm gonna leave you alone, Kitty, but I just had to, you like to rub me and lie on me and say I took advantage of what does he call it? A disadvantaged man or a disabled man talking about lemon. So, I can rub you right back, rub you right on your head like a genie bottle. Okay. 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 So yeah. So that's what I got to say. I don't think Rogaine will work for Kimmy, will it? I don't think Rogaine work. I think that's just for men, right? I don't know, child. I don't know. But I'm just saying. I got jokes too, Kimmy. You be over there trying to make me look like a damn fool. I could do the same. All right. What's up, viewers of you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Y'all in Chicago, y'all need to watch out. Trump said he gonna use the National Guard over there to bring order like he doing in DC, I guess. All that stuff is very scary, but we know that's another topic for another day. Other than that, anybody got anything else they want to say? If not, this is a short broadcast. That's all I really got to say. I ain't got much else. I don't believe in dragging out programs for countless of hours. So that's all I really got to say. To be honest, anybody else go live today that I want to talk about? Brian is crying though. Brian is crying because he want to go to the nestation. But like I say, you gotta be very careful of you gotta be very careful of That's just weird to me, that whole situation, because nobody knew that Brian was talking to the Heat like that. Now the Heat want to throw up the money that she gave him and stuff like that. And like I said, Ness has every right to be paranoid, but you know, mm, I don't know. I mean, you never know. But I don't think Brian would do anything to Ness. But like I said, you never know who puts people up. who what people know who. You'd be surprised at who talking to who in the background. So thank you, Ron P. Darlene Gibson. Honesty is the best policy. I ain't got time to remember no lies, to be honest. So that's what I got to say. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end the show right now. Thank y'all for being an outstanding audience. I will talk to y'all soon. Remember to be the change you want to see in the world. And I will see y'all soon. Have a good one, y'all. Remember to be the change you want to see in the world. Health is wealth. Auntie Donna. Oh, Room Shaker. This is the best person to communicate this message. Room Shaker, you still here? She probably left and hot scotch somewhere else. But hopefully this will get back to Room Shaker. And maybe reviewers of you can spread this. Look, y'all, this is a picture, and I'm just saying this so the word gets back to Lemon because if anything happened, my conscience will be clear. Listen, this is Lemon's foot from when he went live and showed them bottles the other day. Um, this is his foot, and I'm just sharing this with y'all because this is a sign to me of diabetes, and this is discoloration in his toe. Um, it's a sign of lack of circulation in it. Which is cause is a symptom of diabetes, and then they start cutting off toes and stuff like that, and we don't want that to happen to lemon. So and then if you look at his toe, his foot, there's no vein. So y'all carry that message over there to him and let him know, like, look, he need to go to a doctor and he need to change his diet and he need to stop drinking and eating and consuming things with high sugar or high fructose products. Okay. With that being said, I've done my public service or I've done my good deed for the day and let him know. With that being said, I'm out of here. Y'all take care. Remember, be the change you want to see in the world. I'll talk to y'all soon. Please feel free to send a gesture. Yes, dental health is very important because that could travel to your brain or your heart and kill you. But yeah, head to toe healthcare. So he needs to take the time to do that. But hopefully he'll have access to that. He may not have access to that, but I'm sure he does. It's just a matter of trying to get it. All right. With that being said, I'm out of here. Take care, y'all. Remember to be the change you want to see in the world. What's up, Sincere Sadia? We're about to head out of here. But you can catch us next time. For those who y'all can go subscribe to us of Views of You, Room Shaker, Sincere Sadia. Who else is in here? Auntie Donna. Y'all can go subscribe to those wonderful content creators. Y'all have a good weekend now. Bye, y'all. See y'all later. Woo, child.